we're on to our first project here. Going to make a bed for the little boy. Shouldn't say little, he's 12 years old now. So, but there's a few things that we know. So that we know that the current mattress size that he has now is a single, I do believe, and that measures out to be, I think, on the bed that he has now, that's 38.5 inches inside to inside wide, and then the length of that is 6 foot. So we want to give ourselves just a little bit extra on that length, and then we do know that we wanted it a foot off the ground. We wanted a foot off the ground to be able to put maybe some totes or something of that sort underneath the bed. So like I said, this is going to be our first project that we're putting on YouTube. I've built beds before, and I don't particularly have a plan. I kind of build it as I see it. I wish I could draw it out and show you guys, but I have no way to do that, unfortunately. So I went and bought a pretty good selection of lumber and some metal. I'm going to incorporate the two. This project we're going to be using, sorry about that, we'll be using planers, CNC machine, plasma that is, chop saws, maybe some epoxy work we'll be adding, sandblasting. So there's going to be a little bit to show into this one here. Once again, I don't know exactly what everything is that's going to be used. I am going to make a material list, put that down of the measurements, and I guess we could put that in the bottom of this. I don't know what you call that section, but maybe the information section or detail section of this video. So I guess we'll start. My dogs are coming. This is what I chose for the sideboards. I don't know what you call those, but I ended up picking up some 2x6 by 8s. That's what they are. And I'm going to start those off by running those through the planer, get them good and smooth. Then we'll run some sandpaper over those. Probably, I would say 180 and 220. That'd be fair enough for what we're doing. We'll do that, and then we're going to take these 1-bys here, is what I would call these. And then we'll fasten those here along this face, screw those along. That will hold our planks to hold that box springs in, and then all that should be good. On the other side of things, I do have angle iron that I'm going to cut and weld, frame this out, and then that will be painted black with black screws. We're going to incorporate some LEDs into this, so I guess we'll get started. We'll get the planer out and then get started planing these boards. Okay, well, we got the old trusty DeWalt planer set out here. I don't have it set on the fine for the moment. When I took mine apart, I put my switch back in upside down, so that's not correct. But I do typically try to go off this gauge over here. I don't know if you've ever set up one. I am no master at this, but I will measure my wood, and that one seems to be around 1 5/8 inches. And then I come over here and I'm sorry, 1.5 inches, and then I will set this roughly to 1.5 inches on my gauge here, and then I'll put my board up there and then I adjust it better there. I do have it set the dial on the side for 1/8 inch. I don't want to go deeper than that. So we will get set up here and we'll try to plane some boards. All right, right now we're set up to run it. I've still got it set on that 1.5 inches. There's a little bit of play there. You end up getting a little bit of planer snipe on the end. I'll show you what that looks like at after the cuts are made. I'm by far no professional woodworker, so I don't know how you get rid of that other than maybe extending your table out. I've read a little bit on it, but we'll get started on it here. You'll see me adjust on it to make sure I don't want to take a whole lot off of it, just trying to smooth it up. So here we go. One of the things I do whenever I plane, whether it's right or whether it's wrong, I do try to look at them and put my crowns up on my first pass, and I take that high spots out, and then I flip it over. And of course, if you got a crown on this side, it'll be cupped on this side. And then once I get those out, get it good and flat, I flip it over and take that down flat. Once again, whether that's right or whether that's wrong, so, a lot of these things I'm self-taught, so I don't know the ins and outs of them, but I do it, and it does seem to work for me. Is it precise? I wouldn't take it to NASA. I probably wouldn't do that, but it does work for what we're doing. So we're going to set up the DeWalt chop saw here, or whatever you want to call this, compound miner saw would probably be a more professional way of saying that. And we'll cut these down to our length. I think I said our length earlier was 6 foot, so we're going to go about 6'3". That will give us room for the mattress to move 1.5 inches on each end, and then we'll go ahead and put those 1x2s on the insides of that. So I'm going to get this set up. I'm going to pause for a minute, get set up, and try to record this if I can. I'm new to this once again, so bear with me. The videos will get better in time once I figure out how to edit them and place the phone and all those great things. So be right back. Alright, we got our handy dandy speed square here. At this point, choice preference which one you want to use. So probably want to square up maybe this one. Yeah, I like that. That's going to be on the outside, so I'll slide this down, square that up, and then we'll cut our length. Get the tape measure, get it ready, and then of course we'll hook our saw there. Even though we can lay that against that fence and get a good straight line, still like to take some of that planer snipe off, which I did talk about that earlier. I guess I could show you right here, if you can see that, this planer snipe. And I'm sure there's people knows how to get that out of there. I think a feeding bed for that would be probably ideal. I do not have it, and probably will not get it. I don't use it enough to do so with. So here we go. We'll go ahead and square this up right there at the snipe. Take it out this good straight line. And I always do this on every board just to make sure that I got a good square end. Keeps me honest with that, because even the manufacturer does not have a good square end to begin with. So I'm going to square this up. My hands out of the way. And there's that. Slide over here, we'll pull measurement of that 6'3" that we wanted. There, lose the pencil, because that's what we're going to do anyways. I constantly lose my pencil or pen, depending on what I'm using. I'm sure everybody else out there does as well. So square this up, put us on. We once again know that our fence is straight, but just to make sure we're on track there. As much as I don't use this stuff and it gets beat and banged around with everything else, it's a good idea for me to always put that line. I want to keep it that way, so I will put my blade to the right side of that mark, so I get exactly 6'3". I barely leave the line, and then that should give us exactly that measurement. So we'll go ahead and get our other board over here that we cut. We'll find out our good side or bad side, I guess. This one's not really good on me, so slide it over here. I really could have done these at the same time, set the length, but since I only have 2 boards to do, I won't be doing that. So, snip the crap out of this end, so I'm going to go ahead and that was user error. You'll see a lot of that with me because I mess up a lot. So. But if we're messing up, we're hopefully learning. So that ain't always the case, but hopefully it's the case this time. Back to that 6'3", slap our line. Don't need to square it, we're going to square it. And then we'll cut this one. These would be what beds initially, or bed mattress, box spring. Although we got electric cuts, these bad boys here, they're going to be slats, lay on. I'm going to square these babies up. To me, they don't matter if they're square on the ends. It may matter to other people, does not matter to me. So, we'll take them the same length. I can always cut them off if need be. And then dip flush those up on the ends. Just to make sure those right, and I'll double check that. Yes, so we'll do that. They're skinny enough that I put a line on both. They should be good as far as being square. And move those over. Push there's that. That's out of the way. We could go ahead and probably place those. Get us an idea of what we're looking at long term. So, this stuff ready. These 2x2s are usually, it's hard to find them that's not straight. I mean, not straight, it's not bowed or warped or twisted. So what I'll do, I'll start out on one end, put my screws in those, and then I'll manipulate the board as we go on. So get a drill going. I wouldn't say a drill, but maybe an impact. Get us some screws. These are 2.5, so they should be plenty. Need a bit. I'm sorry that the video is probably boring, but I plan on recording it all the way through if you can do so. Probably throwing this end over here. She's a little bit more crooked than the rest. So, ideally, you would pre-drill these. I'm not living in an ideal world. So, I will run that through. Back it out. So, do that, get her square here on the end. Move it over halfway decently. Close to the bottom. Is that how we want it? And there's that. I tend to overbuild things, so if I'm using way too many screws, it's because I use way too many. I use way too many on everything I do. If I make something and it comes apart, it's not because it wasn't or didn't have enough screws in it. That's for sure. Sure y'all can't see it from over there, but if you could, this is off already, so I'm going to put my hand here, pull this over, and sink that one down in. I don't like to oversink because it tends to make it split. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Just because I say it don't mean it's true. A guy I used to work with years ago, he said, everything I say is true unless you don't believe it. If you don't believe it, it was just BS to begin with. So, let the information be the same for me. Just because I say it or do it does not mean it's right. So, by far, don't do it because I do it. There's our one side put together. We'll go ahead and lay this to the side, and we'll go ahead and grab our other. Get started on that. So, once again, I have no way of telling you what I'm going to look for in this bed because I don't know yet. Going to build it off luck, I guess. I definitely like that look better, so it'll be my outside, and then there's of course some ruffled up ugly marks here, so this will do its job and cover that up. So we'll do the same thing. We'll get our screws here. Try to get started. Think that doing things yourself is the cheapest way, because a lot of things I've done have been way cheaper if I would have paid somebody to do it, as much as I messed up, but I got that experience out of it. So the experience to me means everything, something I can pass on to my kids. It's probably more so than anything, and that's another reason for this channel. If I can help somebody save a little bit of money and do it themselves, or encourage them to do it themselves, absolutely do so. One of the guys I work with, he had mentioned wanting to redo his room, and really intelligent guy. No reason he couldn't do it himself, and I just kept after him to do that until I don't know if I had anything to actually do with him doing it or not, but he finally did it himself, and then he was so proud of himself when he was done. So that was nice to see. It's always nice to see somebody do it themselves and learn from it. You see that finished product and you're like, wow, I did that. So get down to this end, we'll have to really manipulate it crooked. Got that one in there. Then we'll put our last one in. So we're flush on this end, and a little bit out of flush on that end. We'll trim it back up with the chop saw. So turn you back around. Probably take me a small break here. Go and grab me a bag of chips, and I'll get back at it. So thanks for staying this long. Well, I mentioned my ability to not pre-plan anything, and it's already bit me in the rear. So we just had made these for our size of our bed. Those were 6'3". The mattress itself was actually just 6 foot, but I wanted to give it just a little bit of extra room. And I talked about wanting to cover these with angle iron. So that was my goal. Let me flip this over here so you can see it. This would have angle iron all the way around this. So I bought a 6 foot angle iron to go to 6'3". So I don't want to cut off all that length because I do want a little bit of extra room. So what I'm thinking is, when I do box this in, this is going to give me, this is 1 inch angle iron, but if I remember correctly, inside to inside on that is different than your outside to outside. So outside to outside, of course, is the 1 inch, but inside to inside is 7/8. So if I have 7/8 on both ends, if elementary school did me any good, that would be 1 3/4 inches. So 1 3/4 inches on each end will do me just fine. So I'm going to take the 1 3/4 inches away from the 3 inches that I have left, and that will be, yep, that's exactly 3 inches. Is that right? Yes. So that will give us roughly 1 1/4 inches that we cut off. So we'll cut that 1 1/4 inches off, and I'll get back with you guys and see how close I am. Probably be able to use a calculator, but I'm not going to. Actually, we'll just do it live here. So we'll do it without skipping a beat to see how close we are. We'll take that 1 1/4 inches off. Probably gonna bite me in the rear, but that's what we're gonna do. So. Over here, take that off. Square. This up there, flip it over, lay that there. It's gonna be kind of hard to hold both ends, but do this one here, bring this one over, and square it up. That end's fine. Let's see what the other one looks like. Perfect. So. Basic math did me well, I guess, in elementary school. Thank you, did well. So that's my plan with this. I think the next thing we're going to do is, I don't know if I want to weld this up yet or not, because my ideals changed so much. So ideally what I'm wanting to do is angle iron here and here, and then CNC some stuff for the little man. So my little man's into Deadpool, and I'm thinking about maybe making some Deadpool silhouettes of the pistols, maybe put through here. I ordered some epoxy resin pigment. I've already got the resin, but I was wanting to put maybe some bullet holes in here of some sort, and then fill that with resin. So I don't know if that's still the direction we're going with this, but as of now, that's what I'm thinking. So we may set this to the side and start on the headboard. The headboard's going to have LED lighting on it. It's going to have charging stations for cell phones and earbuds. Let's see what else did I order for it. I'm thinking about doing a silhouette of Iron Man in the back that will be free-handed. I don't think we're going to use the CNC for that. I can freehand that faster than I can sit down and CAD it out. I'm not that great with all that stuff. I can sit down and do it, but it takes me a while to get it done. I think for today, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to try to figure out how to edit these videos. Never done it. Be putting the intro video that I made earlier on, and then I will put this one up following that one. We have a lot of tools we haven't used, haven't gotten out, a lot that we still need. Most of my stuff's DeWalt. I do have a few Milwaukee here and there. DeWalt's done me great over the years. I can't complain. So we've 3D printed a bunch of holders for our tools over there in the new cabinets, and we'll get into that at some point. We've got some sandblasting to do. I don't know if we're going to do these or not. We will have to take the oil and mill scale off of them at some point once we get everything welded up. I do have some more metal that I'm not really sure what I'm going to use it on yet. Thinking about, there's two of these. I don't know if you can see that, move it in there a little bit, but it is kind of like a L channel. So I was thinking about, I've got two of these, one on top of the other with lights in the center, maybe across the head. I don't know at this point, honestly I don't. When I say I do these things from my hip, I honestly do them from my hip. So I think we're going to lay it down for the day. Give me some time to get in there and spend with my family. And hope to see you guys back tomorrow. Or, I know I don't really have a following yet, but I'm hoping to pick up some. So if you guys like the video, like what I have to offer, please hang around, stick around, we get better. As the ideals come and pen hits paper, we'll get there. I should say pen hits paper because this never hit paper, but as the ideals flow, I should say. But we've got this to do. After this project, I have a 4-slot coat. It will have 4 different slots where you can hang your coat, and then underneath that will be a shoebox for each one of those to go by our door when you first walk in our home. So that will be our project after this one. I don't know how with all this editing, how all that will go. I do gotta get my shop cleaned up, because if I don't clean now, I'll never clean, and it will be so dirty in here I'll never be able to film the next video. So once again, sorry this took so long while talking, I know, but we'll get better. Once again, you guys have a good evening, and I think we're going to name the channel in the next coming video. Got the dog walking in here again. I'm not sure about the name. Maybe something funny. I don't know, because I do like to joke. So we'll leave that open. I may go to work tomorrow and ask some of those guys what they would do. But anyways, either way, thank you guys for watching. If you do watch, if I don't get anybody, I guess it's fine too. But thank you for your time.